I have an exciting announcement to share with you today. The Miraculous Success Academy 2024 is open now for you to join. So if you are an entrepreneur who has been thinking about epic levels of success in your business, and you have had that niggle inside that's like, this is my year. This is the time I am going all in. This is the time I am really stepping up and rising. Then this is for you. I want you to join me in this incredible experience where you get to spend some time with me as your coach, mentor, guide, and you get to learn, expand, and grow with other amazing women who are all on a journey to make incredible impact in this world. So if that's you, make sure you go and have a look at the links in the bio and come and join us. What have you got to lose? 2024 really is going to be your year. Hope to see you in there. Welcome to the Soulful Badass Podcast. I'm your host, Rachel Jackson, an intuitive success coach from the UK, and I'm here to help entrepreneurs, leaders, and soul-aligned goddesses to create epic levels of success and impact in your life and your business. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you are tuning in every week for mindset talk, manifestation, magic, and incredible interviews with other soul-aligned entrepreneurs. So hit the subscribe button, and I'd love to invite you to come and join the Soulful Badass community. All the links are in the show notes. Please go and click them, and I'll see you in there. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's podcast episode. This week, I really want to build on last week's episode where I talked about your desires being your soul's roadmap. Your desires are what guide you forward. They are the shining light that you should be going for, you should be striving for. But today I want to build on that a little bit, because what we get hung up on when we start to go for our desires is we start to see them as the result. We start to see them as the destination. Now, the desire itself is never the result that your soul is looking for. Don't get me wrong, it wants you to have them. But the thing is, your soul is connected to the divine, and the divine is limitless, and literally they could give you that tomorrow. You could have whatever it is that you wanted as soon as you open up to that possibility. Like, you could manifest that in a day, whether that's millions of pounds, whether that's billions of pounds. Like, the universe is limitless. It's us as humans and our egos that tell us that that is not possible and that can't happen. We create the lag in the universe. We create the energy it takes for things to move and shift. But actually, the universe is so limitless that it could bring things in pretty much instantaneous. So why does that not happen? Well, our souls come here to have a human journey. And I know some of you will hate the idea of this, but the ups and downs are what come with the human journey. And often we spend our life wishing away the problems, wishing away the things that get in our way, or we think, when everything's in flow, suddenly we don't have any of these external factors that knock us off, like family illnesses or people dying or all of those things that, and I didn't mean that to sound exciting when I said people dying, that is a real life awful scenario that we face. But, all of these things are a part of life. They're a part of our journey. They're a part of our soul's evolution. And yet, when we start manifesting, we kind of wish those away. Like, I'll be okay as long as everything outside of me is working fine. Well, your soul wants you to start to uncover that you can feel the feelings that desire generates at any point. You are actually in control of your feelings. You are the one who can decide to feel what you feel. And you might be like, whoa, what are you talking about? Feelings just come over you. No, they don't. Your feelings are actually generated by the thoughts you are thinking. So you are in control of those at all points. You might have given away the driver's seat to your mind and allowed it to go on autopilot. And that is why you feel the things that you feel, because the autopilot kicks in. It has its own little routine. It sets off, and those feelings become a habit. And it's all a bit of a cycle. But ultimately, you can stop that cycle at any point. And this is the amazing thing that you have control over. And also, your soul wants you to start to discover this. Your soul wants you to understand that you can feel those feelings without even having the external thing in your hand. So if you want to feel abundant when you have millions of pounds and you know that that's going to make you feel rich and abundant, then start to feel rich and abundant, and that will attract the £1 million in. The universe kind of not plays with you, but it plays with your mind because it goes against what we're taught. It goes against what we've been brought up thinking. But actually, it wants you to magnetize the desire in by feeling the feelings, by being the person you are going to be when you have those desires. That's what it wants you to do in order to get the 3D reality into fruition. So this can be often the thing that stops us having our desires because we haven't recreated the person of us that we're going to be. We haven't stepped into that energy. We haven't become that person. We haven't felt those feelings because we're waiting for the external reality to prove that we can feel those feelings. But often when we have that, when we get the external reality to do that and it suddenly appears, you haven't mastered feeling those feelings. You haven't mastered being that person. So if, for instance, you got this sudden windfall of money, but you've not mastered feeling abundant and you've not mastered the beliefs around being abundant and you've not mastered your worthiness of abundance, suddenly you've got all this money and you're probably going to go out and spend it or blow it or do something that moves the money out of your energy, takes it away from you because you're not physically ready for it mentally, emotionally, and in your energy system, ready to receive that amount. So this is why the universe doesn't bring it to you the next day. It's why lottery winners suddenly win the lottery and then they've blew it or they're worse off from before because they've not had that period of stepping into the energy of getting the mindset right, of shifting yourself forward. So your job in all of this is not to go, right, I want to get this desire. How do I do it? No. Your job is I want to get this desire. How do I become it? How do I be what I crave? How do I be that desire already, even before I see it in my external reality? So if you want to be a business owner, a CEO, have an empire, what does it take? Who do you need to be in order to attract that in? So you can't just start thinking of yourself as a small business or a hobby or all of those things. You've got to step into the energy of that CEO today. You've got to know, act, and feel like the CEO today. And this will take practice, and that's okay because once it clicks into place, suddenly the external results are there. So don't fear the practice stage. That's the gap between where you are and where your desire is. And all you're doing is playing with the energy, playing with the feelings. So if you want to be a millionaire, let's have a play with it. What do you want to feel like? What is that £1 million meaning to you? What does it feel like to you? What are you wanting to feel like when you become a millionaire? Is it free? Is it fun? Is it, do you have confidence? Do you walk different? These are the types of energies that you need to start practicing and stepping into. Are you going to dress different? Are you going to not walk around in your lounge pants all day? Are you going to show up with a full face of makeup on? Are you going to have your hair done different? These are things that you can start to do now to step into that energy. So if you're at the moment thinking, yeah, when I'm a millionaire CEO, I'm going to be getting up, I'm going to be exercising, I'm going to be doing my morning journal, start doing that now. Start getting into that energy now. Make it happen now. There isn't always a way to bring in a version of that routine into your life so that you start to feel those feelings, so that you start to feel more confident. When you spend money, when you invest in yourself, are you going to feel like, yes, I can do that? So start to look at things that you can invest in yourself now that don't need to break the bank, but you're like, yes, I can do that. I can invest in that mindset program. I can invest in that course. I can invest in this help in my business. What is it you can do now that doesn't break the bank for you, doesn't have you going out and spending millions, but is a starter for you moving into that energy that allows you to feel that CEO energy, that millionaire energy? Once you start to do that, you start to feel it, you start to become it. And then you're allowing that abundant feeling to come in so that you get used to it. You can start to explore it, see what it feels like, try it on, so that when it does flow into you, it doesn't feel unusual or uncomfortable. It's suddenly like, yes, of course, this is for me. And the thing is, by that point, your desire will have moved on because you're on to what is it I need to feel next? Who is it I need to become next? Your soul is the one driving this. Your soul isn't, going, right, what's next because it's greedy. It's like, yes, she's mastered that. The external reality will catch up soon, but what's the next vision? What's the next version of her? What's the next CEO that needs to come out of her? That is the energy that's moving you forward. It's not from a place of greed. It's not from a place of dissatisfaction. It's like, boom, she's mastered the feeling. She's mastered who she needs to become. She's mastered the beliefs. Now we can grow Rachel or whoever that is even more. So start to think of, and this is what we've been doing in Quantum Success Activation. So if you haven't got that, it's still 85% off at the moment. Go and get access. It's amazing. But what you need to do is step into who are you going to be when you have those desires? What are you going to believe? What are you going to feel like? What are you going to be doing? What are you be, do, have? This is where you can start to do that now. So remember, your soul isn't interested in the desire itself. The desire itself is kind of a blip on your soul's radar, because actually that desire that you're thinking of at the moment is minuscule compared to where you're going to go. If you start stepping into this energy now, believe me, that desire is going to be like yesterday's old news. It's going to be something you throw out with the chip paper. Like, you are on to bigger and better things, because believe me, you're here for incredible things. If my soul had told me the things I'm doing today back when I started this journey, I wouldn't have been ready. So I wouldn't have actually put the wheels in motion. Whereas now I'm like, yeah, what's next? What's next? Because my energy is different. When I initially started doing lives, they used to scare me. Now get me off a camera. I'm literally like, come on, bring it on. But those things, if somebody had said you're going to be doing lives on TikTok every day, you're going to be doing lives on Facebook, you're going to be, doing speeches at summits and things like that. Me at that point knew that was in my future, but didn't feel ready for it. It took me to get on it and just do the lives, get on and feel the feelings, get on it and move through the confidence to actually see that, yeah, that is easy. And that was always a part of my path and my journey. So what is it that you need to just step into and become? It's all about the person you need to become and knowing you can change those feelings. So if at the moment you're feeling lack because you're not seeing the desire coming in, you've got to really think of, what is it that you are going to feel like when you have that desire? What is your brain telling you want to feel like? So then you can start to bring that feeling in. So you can do that at any point through your thoughts. So all you need to do is, if you are going to feel free, when you have all this money, how do I feel free now? How do I bring that into my body now? What is that feeling of freedom like? And just let it sink in, let it take over, let it feel through your body. Because you can tell your body to feel a certain feeling. You can say, let's feel into what freedom feels like. Let's just put that on. Let's try it like a new coat. Let's try it like a new dress. What does it feel like? And allow your body to take over, because you have that connection between brain and body and it'll do it for you. So let yourself feel it every day and then start to journal. Where do I actually feel free now in my life? Where do I have that freedom? I have freedom of choice every day. I get to choose what I wear. I get to choose what time I wake up. I get to choose all these things. Like, where do you already have freedom? Start to notice it so that you build it into your daily life. You already have a lot of the things that you're craving. It's just you're seeing the desire itself as a symbol of it. Whereas actually, you can feel what you want to feel like when you get there now. You can do that today. You can start to shift your beliefs and your mindset now. You can do that today. So how are you working towards it? Are you sat there waiting for it to appear? Are you sat there trying to plan the route of how to get there? Because you're missing an absolute step. It's all around who you're going to become, what are you going to think of, and what are you going to be feeling like when you get there. And if you master them two things, believe me, your external world will start to change rapidly. So that's the action from this week. Like, start to think, who do you want to become? What does that person feel like? What does that person think like? And what I would say is, for the price that QSA is at the moment, go and join it. It will take you through this motion. It'll take you through this energy, and it'll energetically align your soul with those desires and who you're being with those desires. So, go and try that out. But stop missing the point when it comes to your desires, when it comes to your feelings. You are in control. You can change all of this. So it's really to start to think of, how are you letting your feelings run you versus letting you run your feelings? And how are you letting your thoughts take over on autopilot versus you actually running that car or driving that car? You're in so much more control than you think. Don't let your ego and autopilot tell you different, because you were made for big things. And believe me, those desires are just the starting point. There is so much more coming your way. Catch you soon. I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you missed last week's, go and check it out, because that's a nice build up on this week too. And I will catch you on next week's episode. Bye.